Hare Krishna. Welcome back to these discussions on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As you know, we were doing these discussions on daily basis for quite long time, but due to increase in my services in temple, I was not able to continue these sessions. So now Krishna has put me in a situation where he is forced me to resume these sessions for my own benefit, for my own increasing my own understanding of Krishna consciousness, and if anybody else can be benefited from it, that would be my I would take it as Krishna's mercy and the mercy of the Guru and Vaishnavas. So last time we had discussed till second chapter 40th verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today we will continue from 41st verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we will begin with chanting prayers to our previous acharyas. Vandeham Shri Guru Shetapadakavalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Jai Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Samriti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we'll continue with the Bhagavad Gita as it is, second chapter, contents of the Gita summarized, 41st verse. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekehe guru nandana bahu sakhahi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Word to word meaning. Vyavasaya Atmika, resolute in Krishna consciousness, Buddhi, intelligence, Eka, only one, Iha, in this world, Kuru Nandana, O beloved child of the Kurus, Bahushakha, having various branches, he, indeed, Ananta, unlimited, Cha, also Buddhaya, intelligence, Avyavasainam, of those who are not in Krishna consciousness. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Purport: a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.62 states Shraddha Shabde Vishvasha Kahe Sudrudha Nischaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Haya. So as this purport is like little long, we will just read one paragraph and discuss on it. So first of all, in the translation, Prabhupada Prabhupada mentions that those who are on this path are resolute in purpose. First of all, we have to understand that these words are Krishna's words, and it is not just for Arjuna, but it is actually for us. So Krishna, you can see there's a picture of Shri Radha Shyam Sundar from Shri Vrindavan Dham, Krishna Balram temple. So it's these words are actually being spoken to us by Krishna, not just for Arjuna. So what is Krishna telling us? Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose. So those who are on this path of bhakti are very much fixed, very much one-pointed. They are with one-pointed attention, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, that is being addressed to Arjuna. The intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. If we are not determined on this path of bhakti, then it is very difficult because we will be having our attention towards so many things. In purport, Prabhupada is mentioning that a very strong faith is needed. What is that strong faith? That just by practicing Krishna consciousness, that's all I need. I just need to practice Krishna consciousness properly. One will be elevated to the highest perfection of life. That is called Vyavasayatmika intelligence. And he quotes from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahe Shudra Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritahaya. If you do Krishna Bhakti, then your life is perfect. So, the purport, faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. Faith. What is faith? Prabhupada is defining. It means unflinching trust in something sublime, not something of this material world. We cannot actually put faith on things in this material world. Just like the example is given, of course, we need to put faith in every sphere. Just like if you have to go to a destination, you're getting a bus ticket. So you have faith that you have this ticket, that means you'll reach the destination. But in this material world, you never know. The bus breakdowns in middle and you have to look for different means of transport. So in the material world, our faith is like it may or may not be so much valuable. But when it comes to the spiritual sphere, we have to put faith. Faith is the basic Shraddha. Shraddha is the first thing in Krishna consciousness. We have to put faith, unflinching trust. When we are engaged in Krishna conscious activities, when we have taken the duties given to us in Krishna consciousness, that is basic things of chanting, hearing, reading, acting in Krishna consciousness, being conscious of Krishna in whatever we are doing, yat karoshi yadashnashi, whatever we do, whatever food you eat, whatever you give in charity, do it for him, doing it for Krishna. So when we are engaged in such way, we do not have any obligations to our immediate family members or to the nation, to the society, and so on. When we are engaged in fruitive activities, then we have to go. We get results of our good and bad deeds. But once we are situated on the platform of Krishna consciousness, there is no question of good and bad deeds. In fact, Krishna, we will see in 18th chapter, Krishna is assuring us that I will free you from abandon all varieties of religion, abandon, savadhaman parityagya mamekam sharanam vrajam. Abandon all variety of religious, um, um, all varieties of religion, and just surrender unto me. I shall free you from all sinful directions. So Krishna is promising us. Krishna is like he is assuring us that okay, do not fear. So he frees us from all kinds of good or bad results. Now, when we are situated on Krishna conscious platform, then everything that we do is on absolute platform. It's on spiritual. Everything is spiritual. For they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. Highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of material conception of life. So that is the test. When we are generally we ask, we get doubt that okay, I'm practicing, but am I really progressing? How do I know if I'm progressing or not? So this is a test. If our taste in material things is reducing and our taste for spiritual things is increasing, that means we are progressing in Krishna consciousness. So we have to put ourselves to this litmus test, and see whether we are actually progressing or not. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. Then next paragraph. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva Savam iti Samahatma Sudurlabha. A person in Krishna consciousness is a rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva, or Krishna, is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches, so by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. So, of course, we have to have that resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Yeah, with little, of course, one need not be a very learned. It is not necessary that one has to be a very learned, scholar to become Krishna conscious or to progress in Krishna consciousness. But basic understanding of Jivera Swarupa hai Krishnera Nitya Das. So the Swarupa or the Dharma of the living entity is that I'm Nitya Das of that Supreme Personality of Godhead, eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, part and parcel of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, I'm supposed to engage in his service, that is devotional service. So, a person, Sudurlabha. So Prabhupada is quoting that Vasudevam Savamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. A person in Krishna consciousness. To find a person in Krishna consciousness is very rare. He's a very rare, soul who knows perfectly well that Krishna is the root of everything. Everything, material, spiritual, everything is coming from Krishna. Just by watering the root of a tree, we are actually the whole plant is getting the nourishment. In a similar way, if we are just engaged in satisfying Krishna, then we are actually satisfying ourselves and others, all living entities. We are doing the greatest service by that. If Krishna is satisfied, this statement is very important that if Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. So we need not satisfy our friends, family, relatives, society separately, but if we are just engaged in Krishna consciousness, properly engaged in Krishna conscious activities, Krishna is satisfied by our service, then everyone else will be satisfied. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. So, now we understood that okay, we have to act in Krishna consciousness, but now in order to act properly in Krishna consciousness, we need a bona fide spiritual master, the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Just like if you want to become a student, I mean, you want to become a doctor, so you enroll yourself into a college, medical college, and you have to attend the classes, or you have to take guidance or help from some professor or someone to help you understand topics, and that's how you can ultimately come through the appear for the exam and all that and become a doctor. Similarly, in the spiritual sphere also, we need guidance. We need guidance of the bona fide spiritual master who knows now the spiritual master. He knows he has so many disciples. He knows the nature of each and every disciple, you know, and accordingly he guides. For one disciple, he may say, "Okay, you engage yourself in temple services." Mm. And for one, he may say, okay, you must give your life and you must engage yourself mostly in book distribution activities. Mm. So it may seem to be different, but depending upon the nature of the disciple, of the devotee, the spiritual master guides them accordingly or instructs them accordingly. And if we actually want to be fixed in Krishna consciousness, then we have to act firmly and obey the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul. And in relation to this, Srila Prabhupada is quoting Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayer for the spiritual master as follows. Yasya prashadat bhagavad prasado Yasha prashadat nagati kutopi Dayam stuvam stasya yashastri sandham Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied, and by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically, when there is no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities. One who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts. So, Prabhupada is quoting from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's, the Gurvashtakam prayers. If you have been to ISKCON temples, and every ISKCON temple at 4:30, of course in Sri Vrindavan Dham at 4:10, and even in Mayapur also in Prabhupada's Pushpa Samadhi at 4:10, we offer Aarti, that is with singing the Gurvashtakam prayers. So in the last verse of those prayers, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that by satisfaction of the spiritual master, only by satisfying the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is satisfied. And if the spiritual master is not satisfied, forget about satisfying Krishna, forget about pleasing Krishna. It's not possible. And there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of, you cannot become Krishna conscious if you are not able to satisfy the spiritual master. If the spiritual master is displeased with us, then we can never progress in Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for His mercy 3 times a day. Of course, we should be meditating and praying for His mercy 24 hours, but um, at least 3 times a day, and offer my respectful obeisances unto Him, my spiritual master. So we can understand the importance of a spiritual master in our spiritual life. There's a verse where Krishna says to Arjuna, Ye me bhakta jana pata na me bhakta te jana mat bhaktanam na ye bhaktas te me bhakta tamamata. Yeah, I hope I didn't mess up the verse. So the meaning of it is, oh my dear Arjuna, those who are my devotees actually not my devotees, but those who are the devotees of my devotees actually my devotees. So Krishna, if you go to Krishna and Krishna, I'm your servant, I'm your devotee, so he'll not accept. Who are you? Yeah, he'll not accept. But if he sees that a devotee is actually serving his confidential servitor, that is the spiritual master, then he is very pleased. Oh, this soul is actually serving my devotee. So he's very pleased with that. And that is the way to actually approach Krishna. Directly we cannot. We have to go through the transparent via medium of the spiritual master. So, anyways, the overall thing is that we have to understand that we are not this body, we are spiritual beings, and not just theoretically. Theoretically, we have understanding that okay, I'm not this body. Every time we, in every lecture of Sri Prabhupada, we may go for very philosophical topics, very deep from this scriptures or that scriptures. But if you hear any lecture of Sri Prabhupada, the basic thing that he mentions is you're not this body. Every lecture you can hear that. So why he is repeating the same thing? Because we have not realized it. We have an understanding theoretically, but not practically. We haven't realized actually that I'm not this body. Why? Because we are still acting on a material platform. We are still having so many attachments to the material things. huh? So we have so many material desires and so on. So when not theoretically but practically, when there is no longer a chance of sense gratification manifested fruitive activities, one who is not firmly fixed in mind, diverted by various, if we are not, we have to be very determined that our only aim of human life is to practice Krishna consciousness. If we are not determined, then there will be lots of ups and downs in the material world, especially. You cannot expect a very smooth, way. There will be ups and downs. So, because the material world is made in such a way, so we have to be very, very fixed. We have to be very determined. And when we feel low in our Krishna consciousness, we should look for the association of someone who can uplift us uplift us from that in our Krishna consciousness. And look for something which inspires you, which maybe sometimes for someone it could be chanting, for someone it could be doing kirtan, whatever pulls you out from that feeling of that stage of feeling low in Krishna consciousness. We have to be very fixed. There'll be so many ups and downs in Krishna consciousness, but we have to be very, very fixed that whatever happens, I must practice Krishna consciousness. I must move forward in Krishna consciousness. That determination we should have. And I was hearing a lecture of my spiritual master, His Grace Sriman Sankarshan Das Adhikari Maharaj. So, in a lecture from from Melbourne, I think, he was mentioning a point that in early days, the only thing was how can I please Sri Prabhupada? How can the disciples, the devotees, the disciples, they had only one thing in mind. How can I please Sri Prabhupada? What can I do? What can I think? How can I act in a way that will please Sri Prabhupada? Even if physically he was not, because Prabhupada will be preaching, traveling to different countries. And but they knew that if they knew that still Sri Prabhupada's association is available to them through his Vani, and their mood was just like, how can it's not that what will please me, but how can I please Prabhupada? What can I do? How can I think? What to do that will please Prabhupada? Prabhupada is what will be think about me? What will if I do this? Will he be pleased or not? So that was the mood. Similarly, we have to imbibe that mood. That how can I please, if we have accepted a bona fide spiritual master, we should always be thinking, if I act in this way, will it please my spiritual master? Will if he's seeing me right now, will he be pleased if I do this? Will he be pleased if I have to know that I'm thinking like this? Uh, or if you have not accepted a bona fide spiritual master yet, then you can always think, if I do like this, will it please Srila Prabhupada? If I think like this, will it please Srila Prabhupada? And how what will please Srila Prabhupada, that we can know from his books. And we are discussing like this his books, so that is how we are able to understand and what Srila Prabhupada is wanting us to do. Yeah, so that's how it said books are the basis. So that should be the mode. So we'll not go to the next verse, because next verse are like 42nd and 43rd are together, and we don't want to go fast. We want to give enough time to each and every verse because they are very important. So I will stop here. So we completed 41st verse today, second chapter, 41st verse. So thank you so much for tolerating me for so long. And if there are any questions or queries, then you can always reach out to me. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.